What you need in the building. You're watching my channel. I'm what you need. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget you can like, share, subscribe. And if you want to, you can donate via PayPal. The link is in the description as well as it's in the chat and to the top of the chat. So you will have to check to the top of the chat, which will be somewhere over here, and you would see that link. All right. Because what you need is not sponsored by Google or by YouTube. That's why we ask for donations. But anyway, let's get on to it. What we're going to talk about is some misconceptions, ladies and gentlemen. Misconceptions about this fight between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the first misconception, which is that a lot of people think Devin Haney's feather-fisted and that he can't punch. That's the first misconception. Pop a lot. Okay. It's going to be my video that I did compilation, but anyway, check this out. There goes 888. Nope. All right, 8,876. Oh, see, yeah. Okay, so this was back in the day. I think Fight Hub, Fight Hype, and also Ellie Sekback covered this, where back in the day, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, there was a little meetup with them and they were talking. And there was this punch machine behind them in the background. And Ryan Garcia with his trademark left hook, he throws his trademark left hook to the machine and he gets a certain score. And then Devin Haney came with his sharp overhand right. He hit the machine, and his score was higher than Ryan Garcia's. There's an illusion out there. Some people have the illusion that Devin Haney can't punch, that he's feather-fisted or something like that. But that's not true at all, ladies and gentlemen. Devin Haney can punch. That isn't the problem. There's a difference between talking about someone who's a knockout artist and a finisher, and somebody who's not a knockout artist or may not be a finisher. Punching power has nothing to do with that. I know of a fighter named Ronald Gavril. He's got hands of concrete. Okay, knocked down David Benavidez. But Ronald Gavril was not this big knockout artist. See, someone who has a high knockout percentage, there's a number of things you have to think about. But suffice it to say, that person is able to knock out people because they're able to do it well. And they do it well because they set up their shots well and they know how to get people hurt and then they know how to get them out of there. That's why they're called a knockout artist. Doesn't mean that a guy who's not knocking out everybody in his way doesn't have power. All right? Power is different to knockouts. Devin Haney has been shown to have power. He has power. He has sufficient power to knock out anybody. But he's not a knockout artist. It's different. Okay? Arnaldo Neve says they were kids and haven't developed a man's body, but now they're growing to be a man. We have to have that in consideration. Be that as it may, both of them had roundabout the same power. In fact, Devin Haney, when he threw his overhand right, had more power than Ryan Garcia when he threw his left hook. But why is it that Ryan Garcia is able to get more knockouts? It's because Ryan Garcia works for the knockout. He sets up guys to get them knocked out with that left hook. Okay? He sets up his punches that way. And then once he hurts the guy, if the guy's still standing, he finishes him. See, there's an interview, I believe it's either Fight Hub or Fight Hype, where they interview Ryan Garcia's father, Henry Garcia. Henry Garcia says that Devin Haney has power. Even Jorge Linares believes that David Haney has power. That's not the problem. Devin Haney has broken guys' eye orbitals in that ring. You have to have power to do that. So Devin Haney has power. That's not the problem. The problem is Devin Haney doesn't finish his opponents. And the second thing is Devin Haney also is not a knockout artist. Okay? So, having said that, though, if Devin Haney, his goal or objective is to knock out a guy, or he's pushed to the point where he has to knock out someone, he has that power, so sufficient power to hurt the person and get him out of there. Okay? So that's the first misconception about Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Duly noted, Arnaldo Neves, that you said they were kids and they're much older and they have manpower and man strength. That might be so, but I do think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney have around about the same power. All right, the other thing. So, can Devin Haney knock out Ryan Garcia? Probably. Can Ryan Garcia knock out Devin Haney? Probably. Okay. There's another misconception that this fight is not selling and the pay-per-view has been dropped. Okay, the pay-per-view price has been dropped. That's not really true. Let me show you
what you need in the
this
building.
bill.
So I thought that the pay-per-view cost had dropped from $80 to $15 or $14.99 because when you go to the Zone channel, you see that. But in fact, it still costs $80 US when you go to a pay-per-view site. What you need.
So you guys may not have seen that properly, but basically there are several pay-per-view sites where you can buy this fight on pay-per-view. One of them is a site which Jim Lampley is going to be on and hosting the fight and calling the fight. That is ppv.com or payperview.com. And when you go on payperview.com, which is what I just did there, the price of the fight is $80. So the fight has never, the price of the fight never changed. It's just that DAZN, when you subscribe to DAZN, you get the fight for less. You get it for $15 instead of $80. It wasn't ever $80 on DAZN, right? It was never. But it's $80 elsewhere. So they're encouraging you to subscribe to DAZN. That's the whole point. All in all, when you subscribe and then you buy the pay-per-view, all in all, it comes to something like $25. So from $80 to $25. So that's why you guys need to subscribe to DAZN, watch the fight on DAZN. Why this is important that I say this is because when I was talking in another video, I came under the impression that the price of the fight had been dropped, but the price of the fight never dropped. The pay-per-view price for the fight, for those people who buy via pay-per-view, if you don't have DAZN, that is still $80. And the majority of pay-per-views will be bought on sites that are not DAZN, we assume. The other thing is that because of that, I was saying that this fight, cumulatively speaking, may not make as much money as the Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight. But having revised that, I can't really assuredly tell you that because I don't know where the majority of pay-per-views will be bought from. If it will be bought from sites outside of DAZN, or most of the pay-per-views will be bought on DAZN. So it's kind of a tricky situation. Arnaldo Neves says, yes, they can both knock out each other. Yes, this is correct, Arnaldo. They can both knock out each other. Don't forget to smash the like button somewhere. It's either in three dots on your, well, I don't know if it has three dots. Just smash the like button, wherever you find it. Now, there's another misconception about this fight that I need to talk about. A third one, which is that it is an assumption that Ryan Garcia is using drugs, that he's sexing up the place, and that he's not in his right mind. And that is also false. Ryan Garcia is on his A game. He's preparing for Devin Haney to the max. He's been trolling everybody, and he's been having a ball trolling people. And he sometimes has to say, "This is a joke, people. This is a joke." So let's get the evidence for that, shall we? I think this is on Fight Hype or one of them. I can't remember which one it is. So Ryan Garcia is dialed in and everything, and he's ready to fight. See if I can find it. But Ryan's been saying a lot of stupid stuff that he's just been joking around. That does not mean that they are not going to fight tooth and nail when they get in that ring. Okay, let me see. Ryan Garcia says the fight is going to be a bloodbath. I sort of kind of believe him. I think something like that's going to happen. Here's Ryan speaking about it. It's kind of quiet though, so let me see if I can get it.
Everybody wanted to come on here just to basically address everything. I mean, I proved to everybody that I don't do drugs. Perfect, perfectly fine person as far as, don't do drugs. I've been mentally evaluated. I had a meeting with the state commission. I've done everything I had to do. I don't understand why people continue to judge me so hard. Like, I'm really just having fun. Like, I don't understand this. I really don't. And
Right. So Ryan comes out and says, one, I'm clean. I haven't been doing any drugs. And that is confirmed by VADA. And two, the New York State Electric Commission actually had him do a mental evaluation, and he passed it. So he's perfectly sane. So Ryan Garcia has just been joking around. He's been having fun. He's been trolling. And he is ready. He's going to be ready for the fight against Devin Haney. Okay? So for those of you who are worried about Ryan pulling out the fight, or he's not going to do none of those things, okay? Arnaldo Neve says, I saw another channel that he said, I saw another channel that from $80 to $15. I don't know how true it is. No. It's $15 as a special offer on DAZN. So if you subscribe to DAZN, you do the monthly subscription, which is $10. You can now purchase the fight for $15. So they're incentivizing you to subscribe to DAZN, right? But the fight actually costs $80 on whatever other platform that you buy pay-per-view on. Okay? So it's a really good deal to go to DAZN to purchase the fight. It's much cheaper, but you'll have to stay subscribed to DAZN. Whereas if you purchase the fight anywhere else, it's $80. Arnaldo Neve said, I think that's going to be a good fight. Hopefully we don't get another Teofimo Jermaine Ortiz kind of fight. That's not going to happen. Not at all. There are several different reasons. Ryan and Devin have fought each other 6 times. They know each other pretty well. The other thing is that Devin's a much more aggressive fighter. So he will stay in the pocket much more longer. And he will fight Ryan. Excuse me. He will fight Ryan the way he usually fights. So you don't have to worry about Ryan Garcia and Devin being a dud. This is not going to be a dud by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be an exciting fight. A very exciting fight. You can be guaranteed of that. It's going to be explosive as well. Analoni says, okay, thanks for the info. Yeah, no problem. So these are some of the misconceptions about this fight. I just want to set straight with everybody. Get your pay-per-view. If you want to order pay-per-view on DAZN, if you want to order it with your friends and have a fight party, get this pay-per-view. It does not cost a lot of money if you subscribe to DAZN and then you go and buy the pay-per-view. But if you want to buy it separately, it costs a lot more money. You may have to put together money with your other fight buddies to buy it and have a fight party. So maybe each person puts, like, you get 8 buddies together, 8 people, because it's always great to have it to watch the fight with people. And you guys put up the $80 and buy it on pay per view. You can buy it through ppv.com, pay-per-view.com. So check that out. You can purchase it there, or you can purchase it any other place, wherever you want to purchase it. But it's going to be a good fight, no doubt about it. It's going to be explosive. You know, when they were younger, they talked about facing each other, and they said it was going to be an explosive fight, and it's definitely going to be explosive, action-packed fight. You know. Now, having said that, another thing that I hear people saying is that, you know, this fight's going to be a wash. Ryan's going to get dusted by Devin Haney. Now, or he might even be stopped by Devin Haney. That's interesting. Very interesting. And I was of the mindset of that as well. I'm starting to rethink that position because I think that if Ryan doesn't want to be stopped, now I'm not talking about if he's going in there and he's, Ryan is a flawed fighter in many ways, and he's improving his game. He's pulling himself together. And Derek James is going to help him somewhat with that. But I think if Ryan pursues this fight in a way in which because you just can't. You can't straight up and down fight Devin Haney and obey all the Marcus of Queensberry rules. You'll get roasted, okay? You'll get toasted. And Devin's more aggressive than ever. He reminds me of Terrence Crawford. So you have to fight Devin dirty. You have to. You have to get away with the dirtiness, but you have to fight him dirty, And you have to, if the referee warns you, then you have to use a different ploy, maybe try one thing or another thing. So some of the things Ryan Garcia should be able to do is step on Devin's foot, ram his chin into Devin's shin, low blow him, stray low every now and then. I remember Miga Cotto versus Ab Judah. Hit him 2 consecutive low blows. Right, apologized for it, but then he went right back to, you know what I mean? Felix Trinidad was known for hitting people with low blows, elbow him, you're throwing a short shot, catch him with the elbow, So these sort of things, Ryan might do to them. Now, Dev might turn around and start to go dirty on Ryan as well. Because I heard an interview where Dev was like, "Oh, you want to go dirty? All right, fine. We both go dirty then. You don't have a problem, turning it up like that." But I'm just saying that I think Ryan has a better shot at really kind of equalizing the playing field. He has to fight Dev dirty. He doesn't have a choice. He has to. Arnaldo Neve says, I think it will be. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice, exciting, explosive fight. I like that both fighters have a mean streak in them and they really want to do something to each other. So that's going to make it interesting. I don't think Dev is going to, though, do things where, he's so hot-headed that he gets caught with something. I don't think that's how Dev moves. He's still very strategic when it comes to attacking his opponents off of angles and stuff. So I expect that from Dev. I think Ryan is, he's strengthening up himself. You see him putting weights on his feet. You see him in military sort of gear, backpack. You could tell he'd been running hills and shit like that with loads. You could tell he's strengthening himself up so he could take some of the impact of Devin Haney's punches. I could tell that Ryan is actually training to dog Devin Haney and to eat up certain shots, eat up certain punches, and keep coming. So Ryan is really almost kind of going to the Mexican style of fighting, sort of, kind of, but at the same time, still keeping some defense. Still keeping some of his boxing acumen, but still at the same time, also mixing it up wherever he can get a dirty shot in or dirty something in. He's going to try and do that to get an edge. Arnaldo Nee says, Ab Judah won that fight against Cotto, and I'm Puerto Rican. I wouldn't say he won the fight. Cotto stopped him late, but I think I understand what you mean. I mean, he splitted Cotto's lip, and if allowed to without the low blows. I think the low blows. I think Cotto should have been cautioned, and a point should have been taken, and then should have been disqualified for those low blows. But he, you know, Cotto got away with it. Again, it's a process. A referee can't just he can't just um, disqualify you from a fight. He has to warn you. He has to take a point and down. So if Ryan kind of pushes the boundaries on the Marcus of Queensberry rules, he at least get away with you know with one kind of infraction, and then he could probably go to another kind of infraction and just rotate it. Because there's a lot of dirty stuff you can do in boxing. A lot of dirty stuff. So it's that Devin has to prepare for, and this could be an eventful fight. It could be a fight in which the fans really enjoy it. We'd be laughing through some of this shit, but it'd be real in there. Devin said and his dad that they coming in to assassinate Ryan Garcia, basically kill him or kill his career. So they're coming in with mean intentions. They say it's because he's crossed the boundaries, crossed the lines in terms of disrespect. So they're going to, if you disrespect, if you what's the word that they say? If you violate, I'll demonstrate. You understand? So they feel that it's New York as well. So they're going to really go New York on Ryan Garcia. So this is the plan from their side. Hopefully they're well prepared to execute that plan, because Ryan's not going to just let them demonstrate on him like that. I'm telling you, Ryan's, just like Marcus McDonald wasn't going to allow Floyd to just run him over. Ryan's not going to let Devin Haney run him over. So it's really up to the Haney team to really carry out what they said they're going to do. It's going to be up to them. Ryan's saying he's going to try and knock out Devin Haney in 2. I don't see that happening either. But who knows? Maybe he's baited Devin Haney into catching him with a shot and hurting him. But even if you hurt Devin Haney, it takes a lot more than that to get him out of there. So that would be interesting. But yeah. Oh, there's another saying going around that Devin Haney doesn't have a chin and Ryan has a better chin than Devin. I don't know about that either, because Devin Haney's never seen the canvas, while Ryan has seen the canvas. All right. I got one more for you. It just popped in my head, and I just want to show you guys something. So everybody says Ryan Garcia is this devastating puncher, right? Right? He's this devastating puncher, right? Right? You're with me so far, right? And he's a bigger puncher than Devin Haney, right? Okay. I'll show you something. Anytime somebody says that somebody's this tremendous puncher, always ask them this simple question: against who? Did he stop at some A-list fighter? Did he stop any A-list fighter? I'm not saying that he don't have power. That's not what I said. I said you say he's a devastating puncher and he knocked out, he's got a high knockout ratio. Yeah, ask yourself this question. You always have to ask yourself, against who? So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right now. We're not saying he don't have punching power. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying when you call a guy's name and you say he can be knocking out people left, right, and center, that's all well and good. Nobody's saying no. We just asking the question, who did he knock out? So Ryan Garcia has an 83.33% knockout ratio, right? His best opponent to date is Gervonta Tank Davis, an A-list opponent. Did he knock out Gervonta Tank Davis? I saw him hurt Gervonta Tank Davis in round 1 and 2, but did he knock out Gervonta Tank Davis? The answer is no. The other best opponent that Ryan Garcia had was Javier Fortuna, who was a former secondary world champion, right? He wasn't the real world champion, but he was, secondary world champion. Javier Fortuna. Other than that, and he also knocked out Luke Campbell, who was a contender. Okay. Other than that, all these other guys that we see here are fodder, right? Let's see. They talk about Romero Duno, but Romero Duno, again, Francisco Fonseca, again, you know what I mean? So he knocked out Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna. Those are the two knockouts that sort of count, but not really. Okay? Because those guys were tough with Lomachenko and stuff, and Luke Campbell has never been knocked out. He got dropped, but he's never been knocked out, right? Okay. The question is, let's look at who Devin Haney faced. Just for a second. Just for a second. Just for a second. All right. Just for a second. Arnaldo Neve says, Gervonta Davis said that Ryan Garcia is the hardest puncher that he has faced. I thought he said Rolly Romero was the hardest puncher that he has faced. Okay. We're looking at Devin Haney right now, right? Devin Haney. These are the guys that Devin Haney has faced. Regis Prograis, never been knocked out, never been stopped. Haney did drop him, but Regis, don't forget to smash the like button, people. Regis Prograis, ladies and gentlemen, not even Josh Taylor could put him down. He a solid guy, have a heavy chin. Vasily Lomachenko, who has stopped Vasily Lomachenko? Nobody. Regis Prograis is a B-plus fighter. Vasily Lomachenko is a legend, a Hall of Famer. George Kambosos is tough as nails, right? Teofimo Lopez, who supposedly this knockout artist couldn't stop him. Jojo Diaz is a tough son of a bitch. Nobody's ever stopped Jojo. This is the man that beat Tevin Farmer, by the way, to take his IBF title from him. Yuriorkis Gamboa has been stopped before. Been stopped by Tank, but it was notoriously difficult to stop. Tank took the 12th round, and even then, Gamboa got back up on his feet, and Gamboa had hurt his foot since the second round. And that's Tank. Notorious difficult to knock out. My point being, when Devin Haney was dealing with fodder like Zu Abdulev and Alfredo Santiago and Antonio Moran, these are fodder, right? These are not A-level opponents. He was stopping them. He was dropping them, right? But for the last 5 years, Devin Haney has only been facing A-level opponents, back to back to back. Your level of opposition makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. Your level of opposition is what will determine if you're getting more knockouts or not. So the problem is not that Devin Haney may not have the power like Ryan Garcia, but you see Ryan Garcia with this high knockout ratio. But when you look at the level of opponents that Ryan Garcia has faced, they're not that high level. So yeah, of course he's getting a lot of knockouts. Get what I'm saying? Devin Haney's facing the better opposition for the last 5 years. Devin Haney's opposition is completely superior to Ryan Garcia's opposition. All right, so I'm going to show you one more thing. And again, we're not saying that Ryan can't punch, nor are we saying that Devin can't punch. Regis Prograis was saying that Devin can't punch. But we've seen, I just showed you a clip of Devin punching harder than Ryan Garcia when they were younger. So the difference is that Ryan Garcia depends on his left hook, depend on setting up guys and knocking them out. That's the difference. Ryan Garcia depended on that. He made a appetite out of his speed and his quickness and whipping shots. Whereas Devin was fundamentally sound. He was working more on his all-around boxing game. And he didn't emphasize as much on getting guys out of there. Ryan wanted to get guys out of there because they're spectacular. It makes noise. It puts him in the highlight reels. He gets more of the casual fans on his side. And that's how Ryan amassed all these casual fans, because he was knocking out people in the ring. He's becoming a sensation for Golden Boy. People forget this. So when people say Ryan's just a TikToker, he made most of his money off of TikTok. No, Ryan made his money off of his performances live with Golden Boy. And his background story, people got attracted to him. And that's how you build up the fan base, by doing that, the behind the scenes. It's kind of like, back in HBO times, they have these, what you call it? Floyd Mayweather, they would have the background stuff on Floyd Mayweather, this narration and stuff. Well, Ryan's doing his own narration. He's getting people into the life of a boxer and just getting to know a boxer personally as well. That's what Ryan did. That's how he built himself. That's why he demands the big bucks now. Arnaldo Reed says Regis Prograis is a tough fighter. That's why Mateus wants to fight him and try to knock him out, because no one has done it. Yeah, or Regis can punch, ladies and gentlemen. He legitimately can punch. And he's a knockout artist himself. So Subriel Mateus, talking about knocking out Regis Prograis, that ain't going to be easy for Mateus. Like you said, Arnaldo Neves, he's going to try to knock out Regis Prograis. I don't know if that's going to ever happen, because Prograis, that left hand, and Prograis is not like them other guys. Prograis is sharp, explosive. He's much faster than Subriel Mateus. And if he lands that left hand, it's a totally different story. Okay, Regis is not no guy to play with. Regis basically should be fighting at welterweight right now. Him and Josh Taylor. They're big 140 pounders, and Regis can punch. Notice Devin didn't get punched with a lot of punches from Regis, and Mateus could be taking that. That's gonna be it's gonna be an ugly fight. I'm telling you, man. Regis, he's shotgun. You saw what he did to, the African dude who was a double. I mean, he smoked him out in 2 rounds. Okay, Regis is not no guy to play around with. But once again, how many A-level fighters has Regis Prograis knocked out? This is the question. So those are just good questions, Arnaldo Neves says, "Oh yes, Regis can punch. Hey, that ninja can punch." That ninja can punch. He likes to punch punching bags barehanded. So he likes to let his knuckles punch into a punching bag. He even punches walls. Okay. Regis is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. He can punch. Okay. But having said that, right? Who did these people fight? Who did these people beat? Now, as we all know, Jose Zepeda is a hell of a fighter, and a hell of a contender. And Regis Prograis knocked him out. Okay, Zepeda never got knocked out before, and always fighting competitive fights. So that shows you just the kind of caliber of fighter Regis Prograis is. He didn't knock out Josh Taylor though, even though he busted up his eye. Josh Taylor's eye was swollen on the side of his head. But Prograis didn't knock him out. But Prograis can punch. Okay, if the one thing Prograis can do very well is punch. Okay, and I ain't talking about Ryan Garcia kind of level punch. Ryan Garcia still whip the shot. It's very quick and fast. Prograis has a thudding punch that does damage. He can break bones. Okay, that's the kind of guy that we're talking about when we talk about Prograis. He breaks bones. Okay. Can't remember the 6'2" guy that he broke his ribs or something. Prograis can punch. Arnold Neves says Mateus is no joke either. Yeah, Mateus has heavy hands, but he's slow. He's slow, and he got concrete cement for feet. He'd be a sitting duck for Regis Prograis, man. That'll be target practice. Target practice. They both slow-footed, but I'm just saying. And Prograis can take a punch. We all know that now. Okay, he can take a punch. He's not really a junior welterweight. He's like a welterweight in a junior welterweight's body. It's kind of like Adrian Broner versus Subriel Matias. You know, Subriel Matias, he's strong and everything, but he not, Adrian Broner can handle Subriel Matias. You know, I see Adrian Broner knocking out Subriel Matias. That's how bad Adrian Broner is. He just need to let his hands go. He got decent enough defense, but he need to let his hands go. Or Subriel Matias. I mean, Adrian Broner did not get knocked out by Marcos Maidana. Now, you tell me, Subriel Matias, Marcos Maidana. Let me ask you this question, Arnoldo Nieves. Let me ask you this question. If Subriel Matias was to fight Marcos Maidana, who's going to win that fight? Matias versus Maidana. Think about it before you speak. Remember Soto Karass versus Marcos Maidana? And we all know how strong Soto Karass was. He could take a punch, take a lick, and he kept coming. Marcos Maidana, Soto Karass. I'm asking you, it's a smaller guy versus Marcos Maidana, who also came up from super lightweight, by the way. Marcos Maidana versus Subriel Matias. Who you got? Let me hear you. Because Adrian Broner survived Marcos Maidana. And not many people survived Marcos Maidana. I can name them on the Amir Khan survived Marcos Maidana, right? Adrian Broner survived Marcos Maidana. Floyd survived Marcos Maidana. I think it's only 3 people who ever survived Marcos Maidana. Maidana is a beast. A beast. Okay? We saw Gustavo Levos, who is much more, I think he has better. He is not a beast like Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana's hands as hands of steel. He said the man got hands of steel. You know what I mean? Marcos Maidana. But anyway, I just threw it out there for you. But yeah, the misunderstanding that I said we were going to go into is that so what I'm saying is Devin Haney has faced guys who not only are dangerous with their hands and have a lot of power and stuff, but they're A-level guys, right? So Prograis, like, he's up there. Hey, you had Loma, who's up there. You got Kambosos. We're finding out if he's up there or not. His fight with Loma will tell us something. And then he's fought some other guys like Linares and Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz was up there. Those guys have defense and stuff. Arnaldo Nieves says Matias, he has better stamina. Maidana gasses out. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Maidana is a different kind of breed. Maidana has defense, better defense than Matias, I can tell you that. And I just don't see Matias surviving Maidana's hands, man. Maidana got too much power, bro. You can't be fucking getting hit by Maidana. He breaks bones. Maidana breaks bones, fractures eye orbitals, smashes up noses. I mean, Maidana, when he hits you, you get hurt. All right? He breaks shit. Okay? Maidana breaks shit. Matias, I don't know if Matias would survive Maidana. And Maidana has defense too. He takes punches, but he got defense. I don't know about that, bro, because and Maidana also fought at a higher weight class. So the Maidana I'm talking about is the one that faced Floyd. I'm not talking about the earlier versions of Maidana. I'm talking about the later versions of Maidana. The Maidana that faced Floyd, Floyd managed to beat him, but be it anybody, and I'm talking about the Maidana that fought dirty and shit, all that, the whole 9. That Maidana that was tackling guys out the ring and shit like that. That's the Maidana I'm talking about. I don't see nobody beating that Maidana just like that, bro. He was a force to reckon with. And he can punch. Maidana can punch. He can punch. You know what I mean? That's not that. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, I don't see Mateus. I don't see Mateus surviving that. He got to have better defense, or he at least need to move his feet or something. Because Maidana would. I mean, he would. I mean, he would destroy him, man. Because Maidana can fight going backwards as well, and then Maidana would rough him up. He definitely rough him up. You know, my headbutt him, all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit could happen with Maidana because Maidana's he's kind of unpredictable. He not just boxing you, nah, he kicking you, kneeing you, elbowing you, you know, he butting you, what I'm saying? He's biting you on your hand. You know what I'm saying? He Muay Thai kicking you. He's tackling you out the ring. I'm saying that Maidana was a problem. That that Maidana was a problem, bro. Arnaldo Nieves says, I like Maidana. Yeah, I know. It was a very entertaining fight with Floyd, that first one. Maidana would not be denied. And I'm just saying, if Ryan Garcia has even 30% of that kind of determination and drive against Devin Haney, he's going to really it's going to be a very competitive fight. Very. Yeah, but he has to. You can't operate within the rules of boxing. You're gonna have to come outside of the rules of boxing to beat Devin Haney. That's my opinion. You know. You have to figure out a way to cut that distance down. And Ryan has a long jab, so he can get to the inside, and then after that, he just has to rough up Devin Haney. Have to throw Devin Haney. Try to throw Devin Haney at least down on the ground a couple times. Use your grappling to throw him down on the ground. That kind of shit. Arnaldo Nieves says we'll never find out. Maidana was bad, I know. Yeah. Maidana was a problem. All right. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So the other thing I wanted to say to you guys is this, right? That is that Sinicia Estrada? No, that's not Sinicia Estrada. Yeah. The thing I want to say to you guys is this: that what was I saying? Oh, yeah, knockout. So I told y'all that Ryan hasn't really knocked out any really top tier guys. So I'm not saying he doesn't have knockout power. I'm just saying that the top tier guys, he's not getting them out of there. Right? He didn't get Tank out of there. And I don't think he's going to get Devin out of there. I just don't think so. I don't care how much Devin James worked with him. He didn't work with him enough. Ryan needed at least 2 or 3 more fights before he could really get to that level. And I know he's trying to dupe Devin Haney into a shot, but I think Devin Haney could take a shot. I believe he could take Ryan's shot. And people say Devin Haney don't have a chin, but he does have a chin, right? Because Ryan's been knocked down and Devin Haney hasn't been knocked down. And Devin Haney has been with punchers now. He's been with Regis Prograis. He's been with Jorge Linares, who is known as a puncher. Okay, Linares was known as a puncher. He's also in the ring with a guy named Antonio Moran, who was a puncher. And he was also in the ring with another guy. I forgot what his name is. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Zur Abdulev, who he broke his eye orbital. That guy was also a puncher. So he's been in the ring with a few punchers as well. You know what I mean? And he's been hit. Devin has been hit a couple times. People say JoJo hurt Devin. I don't think JoJo really hurt Devin, but yes, Devin, he got Devin's attention, and then Devin started to behave like a dog and walk him down and stuff like that. Now, having said that, you have to still stick to whatever you are. So Devin's not known as a knockout artist. So Devin needs to stick to whatever he does best. But that doesn't mean he can't whoop Ryan Garcia's ass and beat him up as much as he wants to. But he just needs to know what he is. There's a secret. There's a way to get a knockout. You have to set it up. So, and something that Ryan does pretty well. Okay, so I think that those are the misconceptions that I have. I don't think I have anything else. So I just wanted to share that with you guys as we were here. Now, if you guys want to talk anything else boxing, let's talk it right now. Bivol versus Beterbiev. Looking forward to that fight. Fury versus Usyk. Looking forward to that fight. These are all real fights. Serrano versus Taylor 2. Didn't believe it would happen, but there it is. It's coming up to pass. That's a good fight, and that's going to Tyson versus Jake Paul undercard, a co-main event. Yo, now I gotta buy Tyson versus Jake Paul. I'm so mad, but I'm gonna have to watch that because I need to see that fight. So um, I'm glad that that fight is there. And then we have other fights on the cards like Kambosos versus Lomachenko. This is another good fight. And again, a lot of people are counting out Kambosos, not realizing Kambosos has always been a guy who, yeah, you might call him an underdog, but he a live underdog. And trust me, this boy is doing his homework. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but just say that's going to be an exciting fight as well. So we got all of that all the way up into June, April, May, June. It's going to be fire, 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 fire. Not to mention Deontay Wilder versus Zilly Zhang. We're going to have also on the undercard of Usyk versus Fury, which is really great. We got some pretty fire undercards too. David Benavidez versus Gavorzik, and then Edwin De Los Santos versus Raul Valenzuela as the undercard to Tank versus Frank Martin. I think that Edwin De Los Santos versus Raul Valenzuela is going to be a hell of a fight. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be the fight of the night. Arnaldo Nieves says Serena's older but still tough. Yeah, I want to see if Serena could do something. Serrano could do something a little bit more with Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor got a win over that girl at 140. I didn't agree with it. I thought that the girl at 140 again beat her ass, but hey, whatever. Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2. Let's see if Serrano could do something a little bit different to convince everybody, maybe even hurt Katie Taylor again and probably get her out of there this time. We'll see. Serrano cannot leave it into the judges' hands. That's the one very important thing that people need to understand. But Serrano is, of course, a legend in the sport of boxing. Even though I want to say one thing, though. I think that young buck, what's her name? Bumgarner. I hope Bumgarner gets that fight with Serrano or with Taylor, because Bumgarner, she be looking for a fight. You could tell that. She wants one of the big fights again. And hopefully she gets a big fight. I think Carissa Shields is just way too big for her. I mean, just looking at Carissa hulking over her, I'm like, God damn, Carissa's just way too big for Bumgarner. But I do hope that Bumgarner gets a fight, one of those big names. This year is a great boxing year. Yeah, yes, last year was a great boxing year, and this year is a great boxing year too. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget you can donate by PayPal. The link is in the chat and as well as in the description. All right. So basically, I think I covered everything that's the misconceptions of this fight. Guys, go purchase this fight. Go buy this fight. If you can't be in New York watching this fight's going to sell out. No doubt about it. People are going to be last minute buying a whole set of tickets and stuff, and the tickets price is going to go up when people buy tickets cheap, and then they're going to sell it back off more. But at the end of the day, this fight's going to sell, and I think the pay-per-view is going to be quite interesting. Now, some people are saying, is this pay-per-view going to be bigger than Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, the first one? I don't know. What I do know is this. It's going to sell. Because Ryan got to get his money. So, it's going to sell. And Ryan been working his ass off to get the tickets sold. He's been joking along a lot, trolling a lot. But the guy that's going to come in the ring against Devin Haney, he going to be a beast. And Devin Haney himself is going to be a beast. So you're going to have two beasts clashing with each other. And it's going to be something to see. Anyways, I'm what you need. We took anything else you guys want to talk about? Those upcoming fights look like fire, though. I just hope they deliver them to the finish line. I hope they reach the finish line and we get to see those fights, because those fights are tantalizing. Oh, some new news. I forgot to talk to you guys about this. On Twitter. Yeah. Shakur and Tank went at it a little bit. And ultimately, in the end, Shakur's like, Ninja, I want to get that work. Let's get that work going. Now, of course, Tank has a fight, and so does Shakur. So they're going back and forth on Twitter. And Shakur keeps on telling Tank, bruh, you're saying everything, but let's fight. Let's get that fight. Let's get it. Let's get that work. And Tank is like, well, you are like number 6 or number 7 on my list. I'm like, what that's supposed to mean, homie? Then he's talking about wait your turn. Tank is telling Shakur, wait your turn. And I'm like, this homie for real? Tank hasn't been facing anybody. No top guy. I mean, the top guys. Ryan is a money guy, but the very top, the pinnacle, you know, he don't even want to face a world champion. You know what I mean? He don't want to face. I don't think he wants to face Shakur. He be talking, but he not really trying to get that work. Tank ain't trying to get that work, and Leonard Ellaby, been defending Tank ducking so many people. When Bill Haney has to go out there and say Tank don't want that work, it really is what it is. Like we said, how can we call you great or you the best fighter in the division, but you're not facing the best? So if you're not facing the best, how can you be called the best? You can't be called the best if you ain't facing the best. Ain't nobody gonna give you that title. Yeah, you the money man. Nobody's saying no, but you ain't the best. And that's what Bill Haney was saying before. Good chat, thanks. Arnaldo Nieves says, good chat, thanks. Yeah, man. So quite frankly, it was nice and refreshing to see Shakur finally start talking to Tank about a fight. And Shakur is supposed to end his contract with this next fight that he's fighting somebody who, I don't know, Top Rank probably put that thing. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing that Shakur is facing that competition. It's disappointing that Teofimo Lopez is facing that competition. When you got Arnold Barboza there, when you got Raymond Muratalla there, man, y'all be tripping, man. Y'all be tripping. You can't defend that. I don't care what they say. I don't care if it's the last contract at Top Rank. When Devin Haney fought Loma, that was his last fight at Top Rank. He still got Loma. Why is it Shakur can't get Muratalla or Teo face Arnold Barboza, his mandatory since June of last year? They're all trying to keep undefeated. That's stupid, man. That's just stupid. What makes them money and what makes them great is them facing each other. Other than that, if you're just trying to hold your whatever, like Canelo ducking David Benavidez doesn't make him any better. Canelo saying my body of work speaks for itself. No, your body of work does not speak for itself if you're not facing this dude who you're supposed to face. He's your Mando, for crying out loud. But you're ducking and dodging. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. He had a Mando now for almost a year. And his Mando be sitting down Arnold Barboza and he can't get a shot at the title. That's selfish. It's stupid. And I find the guys who do this, they're not real fighters. You're not a real fighter if you have to duck and dodge somebody. Because if you never face the guy, that's worse than facing them and losing, in my opinion. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. I'm what you need. Peace.